Hi, Enrique.
Hey, Peter. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Oh, fantastic. It's very exciting because today is a very special BIM Cafe. We said it last week.
Yes, we said that to all of us. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us for the last week. We have a good comments. We have the good interactions. I think we reached 80 subscribers on the YouTube. So this is, if you are talking about this, it will be fantastic by the end of June. Remember to subscribe.
Let's make some magic. 1, 2.
Magic.
There you go.
Here you go.
That's the QR code. Just scan and go directly to our channel and give us the support. We won't spam with the notifications, so just give it that subscribe bell on. Well, guys, why is a special BIM Cafe today? I'm gonna show you, okay? We are together. We are together in live. This is the first time we do the BIM Cafe in live, but presently together, so no more from different countries or different continents. This time we are together live, so why we are very happy to share this moment with you.
And one of the things which is important, I think we are planning as well to go in the real BIM Cafe, meeting the people around Europe. So just be ready for the next couple of months. We will try to see all of you guys in the real, drinking the real cafe together morning and Friday morning. So stay tuned.
Fantastic. Okay, let's lower the music a bit down and we get ready for the interview clip. This time we want to introduce a very special guest that makes this episode double special. And he's Sergio Muñoz Gómez, the president of buildingSMART Spanish chapter. So you have the presentation, telecommunication engineer in the background. I will have the chance to meet with him for an hour and discuss many wide topics about the industry and how buildingSMART organization is leading the digitalization in the construction industry, the steps or the views they have on the development of the sector.
Very good interview, guys. And just as Enrique said, 10:30 it will be released on the YouTube. So just go, jump, see it, subscribe to. I'm sorry, I'm getting obsessed about the subscription, I think. So subscribe to our channel so we can just make the 1,000 viewers on our YouTube. You're doing very well on LinkedIn, so thank you very much for this. We have more than 6,000 subscribers to the newsletter, and it's growing pretty quickly right now. So thank you for that as well. So really appreciate it. But let's jump to Sergio.
So let's start the commercial break. We come back to that later. Let's go for the first clip. Okay, here we're gonna talk about the role of buildingSMART, and what they do is to help introduce BIM, right? So the main idea and the question to Sergio is, how do you guys do this BIM divulgative coaching for the companies? And he says something very interesting, saying, you know what, every stakeholder, every actor in the AC industry has an own answer for why do we need to use BIM. So let's take a look what he said, and then we comment afterwards.
So I need to find different answers to the why questions, because it's not the same for the client, it's not the same for the contractor, it's not the same for the architect. So BIM can give different benefits to each of them, not the same benefit. And I always say to architects or to contractors that they say, okay, but I do only because it's a demand from my client. So that's true, it's a demand from your client, but please try to find your own benefits, because you can find your own benefits for you. So it's not only another requirement in the checklist. So maybe you can find some benefits. So
well, that's a very valid point.
How to exchange information between machines. So it's not about how to exchange information between people. So it's about how to exchange information with machines. So we are viewing how now many of the processes are becoming automatic processes. So we need to improve the exchange of information without lose information. And I think that that's the most important that currently buildingSMART is working, not only in the IFC data model, like the main language to exchange between the different tools. So we are working in how to exchange not only the building information model, so we are working in how to exchange the delivery specifications. We are working in how to define the user requirements. We are working in how to connect the different classification systems. So we are working in different languages in order to exchange better information during all the process in a project.
So a couple of topics here. And the first one, Sergio said that I cannot give the same answer. I cannot sell BIM to anyone the same way. And so if a client comes, is a contractor, if someone from the public administration, you will have your own way to that why you need to use BIM, right? And it's depending to looking for their own benefits.
Right, and this is what we see also with our customers, right? And just not all of them just using the same, they have the same purpose, and they're just different on the manufacturing, different on the construction, different on the process side. So it depends really who is a stakeholder. So I think he really put it in the very great topic and the great to the point what the BIM is about. Yeah.
And so you know what? I'm gonna look to my right because Peter is there.
Don't look at me. Yeah, just look to the people.
We need to create like our list of answers. So if a client comes on this kind of company, so how to convince them?
This is strange. This is the strange BIM Cafe.
Exactly. And second part of the clip as well. Important of the language is that he's talking about how to communicate with the machines, because the IT companies start to see an interest in the construction sector because we have this massive gap of digitalization. So we say, wait, here we can do some work. And now the point is how to communicate with the machines, how to make this language programming communication between humans and machines, so they can set those models, they can create all those projects in an easier way. So this kind of two trends, how it's going and how to convince the people to come on board with it. Nothing to add, right?
Nothing. It's just, I'm still puzzled, because I can hear Enrique on my left side and usually I can hear him on front. So, I just need to adapt to this one. Sorry, guys, for that.
Sometimes when he doesn't say anything, and we are not in presence, so I need to come on, Peter, or something. And now I can tap his shoulder and say, come on.
This is just different. My God.
Do you want to hear something very interesting?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to let Sergio say, because it's a very, very high, important statistic, I would say.
Money, that's true. But another important element is when you are going to save money. Because everybody wants to save money now. So if we are considering that to introduce a new methodology in your process, so you will need to invest fundings in order to training your people, in order to change your process, in order to buy new software tools. So and when you are going to recover your investment, so I think that it's not easy to take this decision in the construction sector, because the people need to recover the investment very soon, very quickly. And it's not so easy to, I think that we can say to an engineering firm that if you introduce BIM in your methodology, you will save a 20% in your process in the next 10 years. So I think we can say that. So no, that's not true, really. Yeah,
we went through this for the last year for 6 months.
There's a very important statistic about this, or related to this, is that almost the 40% of the materials that arrive to the construction site finally are garbage. So
that's not a very good statistic, to be honest.
No, well, it's a very good statistic in order to know that we are not managing very well the materials. So we don't know exactly how many materials do we need. We don't know exactly when we need to receive these materials. So we are not managing well. What I'm sure is that the cost of these materials that are garbage finally are paid by the client.
Of course.
So it's true that we are talking about the overcost of the project. So a part of this, a very big part of this overcost is for is due by management of many things, like, for example, the materials in the construction site. So if we take into account not only the money, so the impact for the environment of this very huge quantity of materials, probably we need to change a lot of things.
Yeah, and I'm still shocked about the 40%. So I think this is something which really just knocked me off, and I see it right now. It's really knocked me off during the interview. But the 40% it's the data which potentially it's less more, but and on top of it, it's average, right? So just some of the companies will go for 10, some will go for 80% of the waste. Wow.
I also know statistics saying that on average, a material is moved on site up to 7 times. So it also tells about the logistic. It's not about you order things that you don't need. Then you order things that you need, but you move them around up to 7 times until you get the final place. So all these things that you can get help with the digitalization and BIM as part of it.
Yeah, no, and I think this is we really can just use some other industry examples, and we have also just guys, you will see it in the next couple of weeks. We have also a very interesting interview which comes on with some of the BIM representative from Estonia, and that he was telling it the way how we cannot compare the construction to any other industry because this is the oldest, etc., etc. I agree, but one of the things which is important, I think we can just still have some best practices. I do not believe that the construction is so different if you put it at the granularity level. Anyway, 40% knocked me off.
I'll also highlight one sentence that Sergio said at the beginning. We always ask about the money and save money, and he said, many people say, okay, I will save money, but I want to save money now. So it's not just enough to save money. It's about to save money, and now I want now in my pocket. I want now to get this return, and you cannot be seeking that goal. Like you have patience.
But what's saving now is always the things which we discussed it last year, Enrique. We were not able to find save now for all of it. It's the BIM requires some process, some reflections, some time to implement. That's no way that I can do it now. That's for sure.
No, totally. It's training for a marathon.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about the industry, how old it is. No, this is funny. We're talking about the industry, how old it is. So we asked Sergio, what are the trends for innovation? Why do we not innovate in the construction industry?
Let's go. It's really, about the open AI. Everybody talks about AI for the years. I remember when my university, we talked about artificial intelligence, when in the chat GPT just changed the world in the 3 weeks, right? And why? Because it's open, that was not standard, that was just really just easy to access. And everybody's saying, wow, it's just, it's not good, but the people are just getting it. I'm just thinking why we are just not progressing on BIM in the same way. Why we just not just let's open to everybody. Let's just don't go for the big vendors. Let's make it sure that it's just available to everybody. I'm not sure if it's for free because it shouldn't mean, I don't know. I'm just still don't know the model, but I'm struggling. Why in the construction we are 10 late with behind all of the other markets?
Yeah, you're right. I agree, Piotr. I think that we have analyzed many times why the construction sector is in the low part of productivity, of digitalization. So and that's right. So I think there are two main factors probably. So it's a very traditional sector. So it's not open to innovate mainly because when for example, if you want to build your own house, you ask to 3 different architects maybe in order which is the cost to make the design, and probably you will contract the cheapest. That's what happens mainly in all the contracts during the same project. So it's not easy for a company to innovate, to invest in innovation, if the most important thing is always to which is the cost of their process, which is the cost of the project. So and I think that this is the main barrier in order to introduce innovation, new technologies. So not only BIM in the contractor sector.
Okay, understand. Innovation, another topic which really just very interesting and knocked me out, that we are not still able to get some good. However, there are just fantastic technical innovations in the construction industry, but not the process wise. So, you know,
yeah, I think for me it's very liking what he said, that in a sector where always the cheapest offer wins, and even though, as I was saying, there is some offers, there is some public tender that the minimum offer are so low that people don't even show up. No? So how are you going to innovate having those tiny margins? No, I'm playing with this. We are used to the projects go up. No, so it's a bit like not corrupted or intoxicated. So we need to clean that from zero to up. Put money for real, because you want to get investment. You want to get good efficiency. You need to invest money. You can't get it on the cheapest.
You know, I think we will find a trigger, guys. I'm just, I'm convinced right now, after just, you know, what's 18 months of talking about BIM and thinking and talking with clients and doing the implementation, I think that one day, Enrique, we will find a small trigger. It's so funny what I can see you here. So I think we will find a trigger, and that will be just, again, it will be free for everybody, but we will trigger the changes of the process, and the way to innovation will start there.
Good. Let's jump to the next clip. Here we're going to talk a bit about the role that Sergio holds on BuildingSMART and what they do. And one of the things that really show us more is like, wow, how many actors are involved on the organization, right? So many people, and Pietro was asking very rightly, like, okay, so many minds, so many opinions. How come are you going to find a common consensus? So let's take a look at Sergio.
Again, wrong question. Which I struggle a lot, you know, when you have so many actors, it's so difficult to get the consensus, right? Because if I am the manufacturer, my objective is just to produce as much as I can with the biggest margin and delivery to just the shortest, from the logistic, the shortest distance. If you're the architect, you really would like to have your vision and to deploy it, and you can take your wood from the different part of Asia just to transport into the place, etc. So I hear what you're saying, I understand it, but I think it's really difficult, and it's just, I'm not saying impossible, but it's just really difficult to build this something like a coherent standard for everybody, right? Too many agendas.
Yeah, well, I think that it's not the same to have something that all the parties are agreed, that to have a consensus that many or the most part of the parts are agreed with that. That's something important for us. But anyway, for example, we make an activity in our chapter in BuildingSMART Spain that I consider is really interesting. So we make some workshops with only two different parties. So, for example, with contractors and clients. So it's true that client want to save money and contractor want to earn money. But we have to find the middle point between them, and it's very important to take or to have an holistic approach with all the life cycle of the building or the infrastructure as a main reference for that. So and it's curious because I think that at the end both parties want the same. So it's not too difficult to find these common points and the common interest for them.
That's a very clever way, right? You have 20 actors on a group, and it's okay, that's going to meet 2 by 2, so easier to find the common ground, right?
Yeah, no, I think this is the way to go. It's just the problem, and again, this is what we spoken, guys, look at the full interview online at 10:30. So in 10 minutes, it will be released on the YouTube. The important thing is for me that if the one player is big one, it will just go over everybody else. So even if you meet 2 by 2 by 2, and we can see it from some of the software vendors. They are really pushing very hard. We have some of the big construction companies. They're pushing also very hard. So 2 by 2 is good, but still a lot of to do there.
Well, we talked about this before, Piotr, the problem of the show budget and how used we are in the construction industry that prices of initial projects go over and exceed them on the daily basis, and that's why Sergio's marked as a very, very big barrier for innovation.
Are we going back to money again?
We're going back to money. You like money, so we prepare money for you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Budget estimate by the client that many times is very low. So in fact, in Spain, a lot of public tenders currently have no offers because the initial price is quite low, and companies know that currently the material rows are increasing the price, so they prefer don't work that to lose money. That's true. So that's probably the first factor. And the second factor is true that many companies, they think that, okay, during the project, I will be able to say my client, I had some needs in order to make some changes. So there are some over cost that you have to assume, and for the client maybe it's normal. I know there are contracts that you have seen it, but then begins a negotiation between both parts, and finally the cost is bigger than the initial estimated. But it's true that it's very sad to know that. So that's probably one of the most important things that we have to change. And I'm going to introduce another element. So I saw a statistic some time ago about that the 95% of the information that is delivered at the end of the construction phase in the as-built, for example, the 95% of this information is not reviewed or queried anymore. So probably because this information is not in a open data, maybe, so you don't have tools to open or to access this information. So maybe this information is not is the information generated in the design phase, but you have introduced many changes during the construction phase, and those changes have not been reflected in the information in the as-built project. So, but really, this information is not used later for the operational phase. So, and that's really important thing that we have to change.
Oh my God! So that was interesting part in terms of the
short budget,
the short budgets and the construction budgets, and the people do not want to go for jobs. It's surprised me, but if this is the reality, I think on the IT sector and the technology sector, it's not really the case. Usually, you can always find somebody who is willing to go for it, but maybe because of the complexity of this industry, the people not submitting the offers. So.
Yeah, and it's how he said that even we repeat it again, but even some tenders, they are so low that companies say, you know what, even if I charge them the 20% extra of our cost we usually do, it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. So don't show up. So there is a clear symptom of a sickness on the sector.
Yeah, but we will not fix it with beams. So
we're not doctors.
Not doctors, no. No beam doctors.
Well,
that's the new team, the beam doctor.
The beam doctor. Okay. Let's jump into the last clip. Yep. It's gonna be like an accreditation for the following also guest, public administrations and BIM, something we already discussed several times, and how BuildingSMART and Sergio works with them to help them for this integration of the digitalization and digital tools.
Maybe that's the way to go for. Okay, so public sector.
Public sector, go.
Are I think an important support for the public administrations in Spain related to, in a good way, how to introduce BIM requirements in the public tenders, how to support the private sector too, because it's not only about to demand BIM tomorrow. So you need to support the private sector. You need to change the universities. Probably you need to make a lot of things in parallel, and we try to support that kind of public administration. So we cooperate in different committees. We are open to review their manuals in order to give them our point of view, or if we miss something. So we are not analyzing which are the information requirements of a public client. So they must know that. So we only explain them that they need to define information requirements. So which information requirements? Probably you should know what are your information requirements. And if you don't know, you have to analyze them. And so I want to put you an example. Some months ago, I was invited by a ministry in Spain in order to talk about the BIM benefits, and they have many buildings in different countries, and they have to manage all these buildings. So I asked them, okay, do you have any kind of Excel file only with information about which are your assets in different buildings? And say, no, we don't have. So, okay, if an air conditioning equipment, you need to replace them, you have some information about which is the power of this equipment, or who puts you this equipment? No, we don't have this information. So, okay, you need to define your process. You need to define your information requirements. So when you have defined them, probably we will make another meeting in order to discuss how BIM can help you. But before, you have to make a lot of things before.
So we're coming to the same conclusion again on the way that how BIM can help, but it's just the many different things related to the process. That's what Sergio mentioned. So I really like it, and I think the public administration can be a driver to putting this as well. So it's interesting.
I'm also interested in what is at the end. You go to meet someone from the ministry, and they say, okay, help me with BIM, but they don't. Okay, yeah, but how? No, you have a list of data, the equipment you have installed in your room. No, so you have to define all those data, the importance of the information before to move forward with the digitalization of those processes.
So I think a big thank you to Sergio for having a great hour with us, and we learned a lot. I learned a lot again, so this is great for me. This is the great how we structure our offers to our potential clients and to talk with our clients. So thank you very much, Sergio, for being with us. Thank you all of you for jumping and just seeing us today. This was also great. It's a little bit different what we did today.
Of course.
So we are planning to do some more stuff.
People don't like it. You like this kind of view.
Send us some information. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for talking about BIM around yourself. And I think this is a great forum as well for you to jump in. We have, I think, one more slot for this season to talk. If you wish to join us, come over and we will go through the interview with the topics which we think it's important for the bigger audience.
So now, one last thing, just when we meet is top corner, Peter, because there is going to be the QR code. You just go there, our little YouTube channel, you subscribe, give us some support over there, and also important to join our our newsletter in LinkedIn, the BIM Cafe, BIM Cafe, where we post some interviews and more interesting articles that we promote on the digitalization in the construction industry. So
yeah, just jump in there, guys, because this is also great. As I said in the beginning, we have more than 6,000 subscribers already, so this is growing very fast. Come over, join us, and spread the news about the BIM across the world. You know, again, we are non-commercial here, so we are just doing this for making sure that we can just change the construction industry. That's our goal.
Fantastic. So let's say goodbye, no? Which camera?
The
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being with us, and see you guys next week. Subscribe, don't forget about us. Happy Friday to all.
Happy Friday to everyone. Enjoy the day.